welcome to the moon. It is a lovely day to be here on the moon. It is Splatfest's time. It is Splatfest hour. Happy Splatfest Saturday. I hope you're taking this Splatfest Saturday to kick back and take it easy. I know I am in my Splatoon. I'm watching the stream, so it's hard to tell. There we go. It's my Splatoon 2 Nintendo World Center shirt. Wearing for the happy occasion of a lovely splatted fest. Like this one. I was not able to participate in the first Splatoon 3 Splatfest because I was traveling at the time. I think it's hard to even remember. But I'm here for this one, and I thought it would be good to give it a shot. Because I love the squids, I love the kids, and I love the various things going on here in, what is the name of this place? It's not Inkopolis. It's a different place. What did they go and call the place this time? Pandemonium Inkberg. Cool town where you are a squid. Slimy zone. All of these are correct. These are all the right answer is the thing. Alright, let me just get myself in order here. Friends, it is a lovely time. I'm just gonna, as we sort of just get going, and whoever happens to trickle in, here at the stream for the Moonshot Podcast Network. If you're watching and you're not familiar with our work here at the Moonshot Podcast Network, you should be. And by that I mean, you could be. I'm going to hit these buttons, and then I can talk more about that if people want to. But let's find out what's going on in this Splatfest. And if anyone wants to tell me how audio is sounding, that would be great. Because I'm still a bit new to this setup. As of our Extra Life stream, as of Hextra Life just a couple weeks ago. Oh, you Lip Sync, We Drip Ink, Shiver Fry, and Big Man are all here. The Pokemon collaboration Splatfest is all on now. What's your partner Pokemon type? Friends, as you may have guessed from the title of this stream, we are full Fuecoco gang. We are ride or fry for that freaky little abnormally round crocodile. Truly just the most like a chicken nugget that any reptile has ever been shaped. We got the museum, we've got the art academy. There's a couple of these where I look at them and I'm like, fuck, what's the thing on that one? I think, is Museum d'Alfonso the one with the rotating area in the center? We'll see. I'll say it's actually been a bit since I've played much of this. I've been hopping between this and Xenoblade 3 since this came out, and I've just been trying to finish Xenoblade 3 before this came out. Before Pokemon comes out next weekend, rather, excuse me. Mixed results, because I haven't finished it yet, and I have a matter of days. Alright, brilliant. Catch you later. I don't like this. I like Shiver Fry and Big Man. Whatever's happening here is bad. It just feels like, I don't know. But we're not going to focus too much on that, because it's the Splatfest here in Slime City. Whoa. That's, somewhat dizzying with the LED effect. Also, just the fact that I have gyroscope on the controller. There's our guy. There's Fry. You know, there's a Seinfeld bit about there's a Seinfeld episode where Elaine is convinced she has a giant forehead. And there's a part where she's walking through New York City, and a pigeon flies into her head and dies. And a random passerby who sees it goes, "That bird just flew right into your head." Like he couldn't possibly avoid it. And the joke is that it's just furthering her idea that she has a giant forehead. And I just think about that whenever I look at Fry and her very large forehead. Anyway, Burn your enemies. We do have to absorb a little of what's going on in the Splatfest discourse here. Before we hop into some matches ourselves. If you are, so like I said, if you are watching this and you didn't, you are not a Moonshot regular, first, hello. And second, a couple weeks ago, we held Hextra Life, which was our slightly out of season from the normal big weekend Extra Life stream for 2022. Raised over $5,000. I don't have the number off the top of my head, but we did amazing. We did the best we've ever done for an Extra Life. Thank you if you're watching and we're part of, or what we're watching for that. We really appreciate it. It was a great time. You heard me throw out my voice because I drank a few beers while also being on day one of what would turn out to be a 12-day long illness. I can do this. I'm fine now. I promise you I'm fine now. There's no good place for me to put that on my desk though. There's Shiver having a good time. I'm gonna give that one a yeah. Excuse me. You're sir, ma'am, friend, your head's in the way, friend. I'm just trying to, I just want to see Big Man. Yes. They're grooving. I like the groove they have going on. I will say Splatoon 2 got it right with Pearl and Marina in a few ways. One, every big Splatoon mascot should be a really cute lesbian couple, extremely endearing lesbian couple. But more than that, one of them was the singer and one was the DJ, and so you had someone who was visually producing the music, which I liked. Here it's like I want to know who's making the music. If you were to tell me that it's canon that Big Man is the one putting down the tunes, I would believe you. I just don't know that offhand. Boy, he's very shiny and slimy. What is she doing? She's just kind of sitting there doing stuff. He's got his fan. All right, that's enough. That's enough of that. Love this. Take your water. But yeah, so we're Fuecoco. We are gonna walk around and look at some of the art because the Splatoon 3 art game is it's an incredible thing when you have stuff like that. It's truly great. I picked Fuecoco I picked Team Fire just based on Fuecoco. I over the course of Pokemon, I would say I'm pretty even with like what starters are my favorites of what types across the different gens. I think it's like a fairly even split. But I had to go with our little perfectly spherical crocodile for this one. There's some cute stuff. I see some more messages. It's a lot of just good art. A Big Man in the house. Trico is also here. I like when they do this kind of thing. I can't remember if they've done Splatfest based around other games other than Splatoon before. I feel like they have. And I'm just forgetting. I didn't play all the Splatoon 2 ones. I think I did play all the Splatoon 1 ones just because I had a Wii U and I had to play something on it. Team Scissors! I definitely did. What was the first? There we go. I'm just gonna go to the lobby. What was the first Splatoon 3 one? It was what would you take to a deserted island? Like food, fun, or fish? Not fish. It was something else. I chose fun because my thought is I'm gonna die anyway. No, I'm sorry. I chose food because I was like I'm gonna die here anyway. This place is gonna kill me. Without any question, I might as well. I might as well have an alright time, food-wise. I might as well like not have to eat, not have to like figure out how to shuck an oyster that I find on the beach. I don't want to shuck an oyster. I'm a common 21st century man. I cracked open a can of soup for dinner. You think I'm gonna learn how to shuck an oyster? All right, let's get into this though. So I'm very excited because, like I said, I didn't get to do the first Splatfest, so I have not really screwed around with the tricolor battles much. And we're gonna do that. I'm gonna start with the Aerospray just because that's been my this is the one that I have the most skill with across all three Splatoon games. And they've changed it, especially here in 3. They've actually changed it a good deal, but in good ways, I would say. I really like how they've changed its like mobility and stuff. But regardless, I like this. I like the grenade that makes a little trail in its wake. I like this. I like some of the dualies. I am trying to get good at the Splatana. I have not gotten good at the Splatana, but I like the idea of getting good at the Splatana. So certainly, if I simply believe hard enough, in my heart of hearts and my soul of souls, it'll all work out. Boy, is no one playing this mode? That'll be sad. It just started an hour ago. Maybe there we go. Let's do it. Let's get weird. Octo crew. Oh, are we all Octo? I like that it gives names to the crews when possible. Boy, I'm using a monitor I don't often use for this, and let me tell you, the color saturation is just atrocious. You're not having to see that, but I sure as hell am. I'm just sort of doing my opening strategy of covering as much ground as possible. I'm not a believer in the like fuck. I'm not a believer in the like don't ink base until late game philosophy. I think that's silly, is what I think about that. But maybe I'll be convinced otherwise tonight, depending on how this goes. Oh! I love what the robot there just uses the fucking I don't know the name of it, but the Spider-Man power, where you just are Spider-Man for a minute. Dope shit. Dope stuff. So cool and good. Oh my god, this is a mess. This is a mess! Okay, so we didn't get into a tricolor battle. We got sorted into a regular one. I did know that was how it worked, and I forgot about it, that sometimes they'll just do that if you don't have enough people. Boy. Okay. So the problem here for me is that I don't know what the best route for us to take is, because they have that center corridor on such a lock. And this is a map I have not played a ton. So we're gonna see where we can go. I'm just gonna oh my god, these people know what they're doing. Jesus. I only see. Okay, I think we have someone who's not playing, but also I'm not gonna blame being bad at the game on that. I'm just gonna go this way. No, don't mind me. I'm fine. Don't mind me. I'm fine. Don't mind me. I'm fine. Don't mind me. Don't mind me! They minded me. Kidlit minded me. Kidlat 23. So, I don't know what y'all's experience watching is with different Splatoons, but if you played 1 and or 2, but not 3, a couple things to know about 3. One, I'm using a weapon that is high inking, low damage, which I think I'm going to change after this round, because we're dealing with very aggressive opponents, and even with, the game will switch up to on what team. Even with that, I feel like I need the dualies or something that can do a little more damage easier. That's one difference. The other that I really like is just how much more, like, maps feel smaller and it feels like you're moving faster. Like, it feels like more ults and other things you have at your disposal are based around you getting a long way very quickly, and I really like that. That is very good, I think. Oh, I didn't know I wasn't invincible when I charged that up. Okay. Jay, we were on the same team. I don't know if Sea Excursion, I understand. Sea Excursion, who was your choice? Who did you go with? You still joined my game, maybe, I think. I actually don't know if that's true. I don't know how that works with the Splatfest. I'll say, I don't know if you did what I did and really just picked based on this game, rather than the series, which is what I did, or, you know, this game's starters. Sea Excursion, take a guess? That's fair. Sea Excursion, you're right. I do have a brain cell. Quaxley rips. I was gonna say, this is a generation where I feel like at this point, I either like all 3 starters or none of them. I didn't like, I think Score Bunny's pretty good, but I didn't love any of the Sword and Shield starters, to be honest. Hi, Caro. Yeah, sorry, I had a blank. I've known that you are Caro forever, and I just, you know. Sometimes you see a username. I have friends who Twitch stream who know me personally in real life, like they live down the road from me effectively. But whenever I'm like in their chat, they will like I've told them you don't need to refer to me by my username. I don't mind. I will not feel like doxxed or whatever. And they're like, no, it's not that. It's just that we know it's you, but extreme salsing is what we see, so that's what we're gonna say. And I am very much the same way. I think I will, if Riley comes in, I will call them Rev Rye Bread. Elvis Duck. It's a good duck. I really like all three starters. I have been spoiled on what 2 of their final forms look like. Fuecoco, I've only been like, I saw a small image and didn't click in on it, so like I've been spoiled, but I don't feel spoiled. Why did I go this way? That was silly. I don't really feel spoiled, and like, you know, I don't know. What I saw did not make me feel disgust, and disgust is what I felt when my little Sobble reached its final form in Sword and Shield, and I had to have this adult gamer, this fucking Redditor on my team. Oh man, we're just making coverage fast here. I am worried about base though. I don't think we hit it very much. So the dualies are fun. I love these dualies. These are, I believe, the Dapple dualies. What's fun about them? That's a bad place to put this, but I just want to put it down. What I like about them is that it is very evenly split. Like the guns are high damage, and then everything else is support. So like I put down spawn radars, and then my ult is the vending machine, and I like that. The main problem with these guns is that I am not like, I'm still working on my little dash coordination, which is hit and miss. Water on principle. That's fair. I do not have one type that is my type on principle. I truly, because my favorite Pokemon type is Ghost. You know, like I like Fire Pokemon and Water Pokemon and Grass Pokemon, but like, I guess Grass maybe is my favorite of those 3, but no, see, that's not even true, because I love a lot of Water Pokemon. I don't give enough credit to how many Water Pokemon I like. Oh my god, oh my god. There we go, nice. But like, I don't know, yeah, it truly varies. Like, I was Sobble last time, I was Rowlet the time before that, so there's a Grass, Water, Fire right there. X and Y was Fennekin. It really is just by the individual Pokemon. This is gonna corrupt children and make them think that making messes is okay. Chris, I have terrible news for you. Not only is making messes okay, it rules. It's all fucking oh my god! That was beautifully timed. What's his fucking name? The Mr. Boop guy, Alec Robbins. Alec Robbins' crime hot voice. It's awesome to make a mess. Like, it's awesome to make a mess and, I don't know, have sex in an art museum or whatever happens in Crime Hot. Y'all read Crime Hot. It's a weird spy comic about a rat and an angel who fuck. Somebody made a bunch of... You're not wrong. I have felt that way since the beginning, and it was... Let me tell you, I was a Wii U owner. Hi, I'm Jay, and I was a Wii U owner. Hi, Jay. I was a Wii U owner, and I like, from the moment Splatoon 1 was announced, I was like, oh, this feels genius. Like, this feels like it's... That was at a time, I think, when, people were talking more about, you know, like, people were a little more in that, like, yeah, Call of Duty's the future of gaming. Games need to all look gritty and realistic and be shooters. And there was a call for, like, why hasn't Nintendo made a shooter? And the reason is that, like, Nintendo's not gonna make a game about guns. But, like, there was kind of a thing there of, like, well, but something that's competitive in the way that a Call of Duty's competitive, that, like, a fast-paced shooter's competitive, is something they don't have, and is something that it can be cool for them to have. And then, like, when they announced this, it was so quickly like, oh, they figured out how to do that with the, like, with the Nintendo sheen. Chris, you get clout right now for the Splatfest. So you may notice I am a Fire Fiend, and the other person who stayed on our team is a Fire Ruler. Those are the levels within your like Splatfest team. So we're ranking up. Maybe we'll become a ruler. I don't know what all the levels are, but yeah, we're getting clout, and we're getting points for the team. We gotta get good. Y'all were the bad guys in Avatar. That's very true. But yeah, I have just been like I think Splatoon is one of the smartest ideas Nintendo has ever had. End of sentence. Like I think Splatoon just rules. And it's been nice to have 2 and 3, which are ones that people actually have played. Like one had a fine player base among people with the Wii U, but that just wasn't a lot of. All 6 of us had a great time. Oh yeah, you need to play the game, Puddin'. I hope they figure that out. That's one of the most challenging things about Splatoon is that you have to remember to play the video game. I think that can be a big stumbling block for some people. Alright. I'm very much a like ink everything person at heart, so like I have to keep reminding myself, no, you're using a like very attack forward thing right now, and you need to like focus on enemies a little more than on whatever. I might switch back to the Aerospray, which is my just paint the walls weapon of choice. Fuck. Where are you? You're up there. Oh no, you're there. Shit. Yeah, Splatoon rips. It's just so good. I think 3 is awesome. I think 3 feels as distinct. Like my one problem with 2 is that it didn't feel distinct from 1. It was distinct because people were playing it and didn't play 1. But 3 feels like, okay, this is this iteration of Splatoon and this iteration's like sensibilities and focuses, in the same way that like I don't play a lot of Call of Duties, but I know that like the people who do have definite opinions on that stuff. And I think, validly so. Same with Mario Kart, same with anything. We need to ink any of this. I think I'm actually going to switch back to the Aerospray after this, just because now I'm, like, noticing all this terrain that just isn't getting inked. Fuck. I'm doing a bad job killing, guys. I know it. Gyro aiming is a difficult thing. I believe in it as the right way to play the video game, but it's fucking hard. Oh my god! Let the record show that never, when playing this stream, did I claim that I was good at Splatoon 3. Splatoon. Listen, my 3 most played games on the Wii U were Netflix, YouTube, and Smash Bros. But I believe my number 4 was Splatoon. I played a lot of it with the Aerospray RG being the gold one. Jesus God. Chris, you know the things I know how to talk about. Oh, Chris, what a sweetie. Name your favorite Pokemon in every generation. Yeah, you're right. Let's crack this. So Gen 1 immediately is an interesting one, because I used to be a Squirtle guy, but I turned around and became more of a Bulbasaur person. And now I would say Bulbasaur is my favorite. I just like Bulbasaur. I like its attitude. It has like, it's got like the attitude of a sweet dog. Bulbasaur is the guy. Gen 2 is also hard, actually. Gen 2... Totodile's fine. Totodile just looks like a very messy creature. I know I'm literally repping Fuecoco right now, so I'm a huge hypocrite. Totodile's good, it's just I've never liked it as much. When I first played Gold, I used Cyndaquil. When I played Heart Gold, I played Chikorita. And I'm back and forth between the two of them. I prefer Cyndaquil because Chikorita is a really I am not a huge Gold and Silver disrespecter or Heart Gold and Silver rip. They're amazing Pokemon games, but Chikorita's a bad starter Pokemon. Like Chikorita is a cool Pokemon, but for the like for specifically like the list of challenges in that game, you pick Chikorita. Grass types are just not a good type to base a team around in those games. I feel like a ton, like most of the gyms are all straw resistant to grass moves. But aesthetically, Chikorita is such a sassy little thing. I loved Ash's Chikorita. When it became a Bayleaf, I love that it whips that leaf around its head. So it's difficult because I don't like using it in the game, but I think it's a great Pokemon. Cyndaquil I also like a lot, and I do think it's a better Pokemon. So they're both good. Gen 3 I also like all of them, but it's... What do you mean 10x battle? What? Does that just mean whichever team wins gets 10 times the points? Rad! Let's do it! Yeah, see, it's real, like, a lot of the early generations, it's hard. Because, like, I have, like, deep associations with more than one. Like, Gen 3 were the first ones I played, and I used a Mudkip my first time through Sapphire, and then I used Torchic once I got to Emerald. They're all good. I think I would probably say Mudkip, but it's really a three-way close one. It isn't that for... Yeah, Gen 3 was the first one I played. It's not just that, Chris. I don't know if you knew this. So I had parents who were very anti-video games as a kid. My parents were not super, like, things will brainwash you or anything. Like, they didn't think Pokemon was, like, the work of the devil. But they were just, like, concerned about me being on screens too much as a kid. And they were super convinced that, like, video games were the gateway to that. And they're right. The youth of today are fucked up in ways that we will not know until they're the age we are now and older. But so I just wasn't allowed to have a Game Boy until I got my GBA when I was 8, which was the year that Ruby and Sapphire came out. From my local Game Crazy. Y'all remember Game Crazy? I love Game Crazy. Former game journalist, thank you very much, Christopher. Carol, I'm sorry I said, oh sorry, I call you Sea Excursion because it's your username, and then I correctly call Topher Disgrace Christopher for a fucking hour like a huge dweeb. But yeah, I just that was my first one. I like Mudkip. I like Mudkip, I guess, the most. Although I think Blaziken's my favorite final form of the three of them. So maybe I like Blaziken more. I'm just running from this guy and seeing if it, like, I'm just kind of distracting this guy. That didn't work forever. You did not have Game Crazy. So Game Crazy, I don't know if you had Hollywood Video. It was a Blockbuster type video rental place. Game Crazy was a like game store on the side of that, basically, and that was like. I don't know that we had it before we had GameStop, but I was definitely aware of it before GameStop because my family went to Hollywood Video. But Diamond and Pearl's easy. It's Piplup. Piplup's the best. It's fun. Like that's the one where I'm like, yeah, there's no fucking contest here. Black and White is the first one where I really don't love any of them. I went with Snivy at the time, but I think now my favorite is probably Oshawott. The Oshawott line's really grown on me. X and Y, I went with Fennekin. I like Fennekin. I don't like its line very much. Hey, nice. We won the points. I think by the time it gets to Delphox, it looks pretty boring, but Fennekin's very cute. I always kick myself. The Pokemon Center website, the year X and Y came out, that holiday season, they had little plushies that were little, like, all-white, snowy versions. Thank you for the nice job. I'm not playing this game very well tonight, so I do appreciate that. They had, little, snowman plushie versions of the X and Y starter Pokemon, which were very cute. And there was a Fennekin one. It was like an all-white Fennekin, which, you know, looks kind of like the Alolan Vulpix, which is an all-white Vulpix. But I always wished I'd gotten that plushie, because I thought it was very cute. Yeah, I don't need the horny furry shit that happens to Fennekin once it evolves, but I like Fennekin a lot. I mean, Sun and Moon, it's Rowlet. I like all those pretty well, but it was Rowlet. I love Rowlet. I'm looking at a Rowlet figure right now, next to an Incineroar figure. I like all the Sun and Moon starters. And then Sobble and Sword and Shield. I would do Score Bunny if I did it again. I don't love any of those. And it'll be Fuecoco soon. The Disney stores with the big moat of stuffed animals. When you say a moat, oh, we finally got a tricolor. Let's go. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. This is gonna be insane flavored. All right, so I believe how it works is we're on one end, they're on the other, and there's 4 in the middle. Is that right? I think that's the idea. I'm just sort of covering as wildly as I can immediately. Hello. Beans. We have a Disney store. Now, we did not have, like, Disney stores when I was a kid, I feel like. Or I just wasn't aware of them. We might have had one in, like, the mall down in Albany. But not really close to where I was. And my parents wouldn't, like, take me to that anyway. My parents were, like, I don't know. Boy, that was hard to tell what was even going on there for a minute. That was some true... Thank you. Oh, man. I believed in you, teammate. You did a great job there. I have a good teammate making up for... Okay, so this is not a proper turf war. This is one of these. Got it. Oh, fuck. I should have charged up my... Okay. So I do have a really good ult for getting that center space back, so I'm going to try and, like, charge that back up. Jesus Christ, okay. That thing has longer range than I realized. I'm trial and erroring the shit out of this. Because like I was saying, I not only did I not play the first Splatfest for Splatoon 3, I also just haven't played the like pro modes or whatever. Oh, what the? We were both charging in there, guns a-blazing, and we were the ones who died. I'm so sad about that. That's stupid. Ah, this sucks. Boy, all right. So I guess, so what's happening here is that, like, this is a round where I did fuck up by choosing a turf weapon and not a, like, damage output weapon, but I didn't know that it was going to be this kind of, like, I chose... I fucking, wow, okay. I chose tricolor, but this is the first tricolor we've actually gotten. So it's a little bit obnoxious in terms of, like, actually being able to... What? And that's that! That's stupid. That sucks. We got fucking communication errored out of there. Hey, that's the first one I've had in a while, actually. I was playing this earlier and managed to not get any. So, honestly, for this being the first... Logan is playing! Friend of the network, Logan is playing. Maybe I'll join Logan for a couple games if I can. Friend of the network, Sans on Interstitial Season 2. Former one-time host of Game Mechanics. Logan, can I? Okay, no, you were playing 2 minutes ago. Damn, I would have loved to join Logan. Game Mechanics was great. I think Game Mechanics is done. Don't let me speak for anyone, but I believe that's the case. But if Logan ever wanted to continue that, I would love that. That was a lovely show. I was very happy they did that. All right, we're gonna roll with this and just kind of see if we can get more good. In a bit, I will try doing some Slatana action. My worst weapon in the game. But that time is not upon us just yet, I don't think. I should... Of the 3 weapons I'm, like, actively trying to be good at, it's the one I'm not good at yet. But I like it a lot. I like this Splatoon a great deal. And once I finish the 100-hour-long journey in Xenoblade 3, maybe more than 100 by the time I'm done with it, 'cause I'm already in the fucking 90s, I will probably have more time for this game. And for getting good. But then Pokemon will be out. We got Crim, we got Soup, we got Autopsy. Yeah, Kara, I'd be down to try if you want, for sure. Let me know, and we can give it a shot. I'm also like if you want to jump in the voice channel and hang out, you'd be welcome to too. I am in the streaming voice channel in the Discord, but no pressure to whatsoever. That's just a thing I'm letting you know is there. And that's right, other listeners. We use Discord. Water wet. Can I not? I thought I could. Okay, I got him. I wasn't sure how much damage I could do to him through the hammer. It seems like the answer is not a lot, which makes a lot of sense. But I just thought I'd do my best, you know? You ever just do your best? You ever do that? There we go. That's a good kill. That's a good clean one. That. Oh god. Oh fuck. Sick. Yeah, I can like make sure I'm joinable after this round. I haven't. Oh my. Okay, so there. Wow, that has really far range. I haven't encountered that gun very much in 3. I feel like the range, just the distance on because that is a like. There we go. Oh hi. That's all right. All right. I'm going over this way. Wait, maybe I'm not. If they have the same idea. Okay, we're all here, folks. We need to not be. Oh, nope. Oh, that was the wrong button. Doing your best in this economy? You know what, Viralore? I do what I can. I open my little doing your best bank account. I check my little doing your best stocks. I have money invested in being kind and going to bed on time. Those aren't making me as much money as I would like, but I'm getting by. I get up and wear my doing my best shirt in the morning. I put my pants on one pretty good leg after the other. And that's pretty much the long and short of that. Oh! That is a really good stealth brusher. It scares me. You scare me, Soap! Ugh. That feels like it was anyone's game. Anyone, including me. I'm someone. I'm part of anyone. Hello. Aw, happy cats. Licorice? LCY rice? Really? Oh, hello, Caro. I can't hear you. Oh, there we go. Now I can.
Am I coming through?
You should be. Chat, let me know if you hear Caro. If you don't, we'll work on that. Welcome to the Squid Games, my friend. Welcome to Splat Fun. I'm going to... If I just keep going, can you join me, or do I need to stop? Here, hold on.
I think you would have to stop. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think you probably have to be Switch friends, which I don't know
Yeah, I don't know if we are.
Okay.
I don't think.
Probably not, but we can. You should keep doing your stream.
I was gonna say we could become friends live on air, but also I don't want to dox your Switch code.
Yeah. I mean, doxing Switch codes, and we keep doing what you're doing.
All right.
We can just chat about this and hang out, and certainly doesn't have to be a collaboration in that respect. Just go for it.
I agree completely. I'm going to turn you up a little. There we go. Yeah, so you are a Quaxley, I know. I'm excited.
I don't know about this generation in particular.
Okay.
Like I've been looking at all three of these, and I'm like, I don't feel super strongly about all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Fuecoco is great. Spaghettito seems great. I don't know. I don't. All three of them. I'm like, I might. I might spoil myself and see what the evolutions look like before I decide.
Yeah, I've seen Sprigatito's. I think I like the aesthetic they're going for with it, is what I'll say. I've seen a bit of Fuecoco's. It seems fine. I haven't seen Quaxley's, but I know people who have, and they really like it, is generally what I've heard. I feel like I've almost heard like Quaxley's like one of the cooler ones, kind of.
All right. Then maybe I will have to take that back and go for Quaxley.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm very much like, and like I was saying, sometimes this bites you in the ass, but I try to be like, I just go for the starter based on the starter, and the evolutions are a surprise. Where did I just dropped my vending machine? I don't know where it went. It like vanished into the rotating thing on the map.
Oh, did the rotating wall eat it?
I think it ate it. That's hilarious. Oh,
that's very funny and also good to know.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever used that.
I have never had the opportunity to learn that particular fact, and now here we are, and I'm learning it.
The more you know.
The more you know, the less you don't. Oh god. I feel like I'm encountering a lot more water teams than grass teams.
Yeah, I feel like grass is, despite I was looking at the numbers of like, okay, what's the popularity competition, and it seemed pretty evenly matched, but I haven't seen that many grass teams in rotation. It feels like.
Yeah, like I was saying, I feel like I am a very even split. I'm a pretty naturally even split. It's just whoever vibes with me most. Oh, we got a wipeout. Sick. I can't go like that. Okay, that's fine.
There you go.
All right, we're getting some groove. This is very much a game where like 45 minutes in, Jay has begun playing it with a brain. Like, it takes a while to fully get into the groove, I feel like, in a session.
I definitely feel that. I'm always whenever I play the first couple of matches, I'm always like, okay, cool, we'll get into them. We'll build our way up.
I'm not finding any of their guys. Oh, there's one.
They might be on their side of the map still.
No, I found one, and I don't know what they had that made them that hard to kill, but that was okay. That's fine. I think we've got this in the bag. Were you have you been a big Splatooner through all the games, or what's your experience with Splatoon been like?
This is actually my first game.
Nice.
The first time Switch is the first like console that I've ever actually owned and had the chance to dig into. But when the original Splatoon came out, I was like I'm enamored with the aesthetic. I love these funky, fresh little squids. I love the character design. I love the way that they kind of present themselves, and so I've always sort of loosely followed it, even though I didn't play myself. And then, I managed to get a Switch, and then Splatoon 3 came out. I was like, cool, this is me. I'm finally getting into it.
Hell yeah,
In
that's
that
great to
respect.
hear. I love to hear that. Again, as a Splatoon 1 player, a game a lot of people didn't play, I always love to
Mhm.
just hear more people getting into it. Boy,
Yeah, and
we got destroyed that round suddenly at the very last minute, but it's okay. I'm not mad about it. It's fine.
that last minute rush is always what gets you.
For
You know.
sure. Yeah.
Mhm. Well, you've teared up, so congratulations on that.
Thank you. But yeah, so you've been enjoying your time in 3 though?
Yeah, yeah. I spent a whole lot of time. I was like, I'm not a huge. I've always, taken my time and sort of getting situated with video games, and so I always feel a little bit self-conscious about kind of multiplayer, competitive things. So I was like, I'm gonna play through the main campaign first, and then once I feel like I have a handle on it, I will then try, some of these turf wars and seeing how online PvP stuff kind of goes. And I feel like I've been doing that for a little bit more now, and I'm like, okay, I'm feeling the rhythm of it. I'm feeling the groove.
Great campaign too.
And
I really like the campaign.
I thought it was really fun. It was went in not necessarily knowing, okay, how are they going to translate? It feels like such a PvP centered game, but I was really delighted and surprised by the way that they managed to translate the into an individual campaign that holds for a significant number of hours.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I mean, how they do that is kind of by making it Portal, right? Like that's basically
Right.
what it is, and that's such a great choice. Is like it is that kind of design aesthetic. It is that kind of like it is puzzle based in that way in a lot of cases, or just sort of you know using your knowledge to circumvent challenges based in a way
Yeah.
that like that really works. And all 3 games have been that way. Like that first level where they show you all those different like things you might encounter in levels and the different mechanical things you might encounter in levels. A lot of those are from 1 and or 2. But it's just very cool how they keep doing more that really like shit that really fit the bill.
It makes me think of Nintendo whenever they talk about, okay, here's our level design principles of, okay, we're gonna give you a mechanic, and then we're gonna teach you how to twist it, or offer a twist on it, and then we're gonna kind of close out by, okay, here's that exact same mechanic kind of the third time, but in a new perspective. I feel like the level design in those missions definitely exemplifies it in a very enjoyable way.
Oh, that bubble gun can be really tricky sometimes. Jeez.
Yeah. I always, whenever I run up against one of those, I'm always like, oh, that's rough.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just one of those things where like the physics of it are like you look at it and don't always think of like how what the arc of those bubbles are. What is the science of the humble bubble?
And it's always interesting seeing, like, okay, somebody else out here does understand that physics, and the person who's doing it is the one who's using it as main, but
Yeah.
are you always I mean, you've shared your dualies, you've shared your aerospray. Are those kind of your main weapons of choice?
So they have been so far. I am trying to get good with the Splatana. I have never ever been good. Like the rollers are fine, are great weapons. They haven't been how I've done the best. I haven't spent a lot of time with them. I really want to get good with the Splatana because I think it is like conceptually very cool. The idea behind it is something I want to master. Where it's very much about timing. It is a like kind of dash attack weapon in a way that like the brush isn't. I like the brush too, but I want to get good at that. But I mean, what I've liked about 3 is that all the weapons feel a little different, more than 2 did to 1. Like 2 to 1, the weapons are very similar. I'm sure there's little tweaks I'm not thinking of, but they feel very, very similar. Oh, did we win that? I guess we did.
Oh, good work.
Yeah. Oh, we got a bunch of the enemy base at the end. That's why. So like I like the Aerospray, not that one, but the RG, the gold one, which I don't know if is in 3. That was my weapon of choice from Splatoon 1. I got really good with that in Splatoon 1. But yeah, and so like what's different about 3 is that I feel like the weapons I have been used to have changed enough that I'm having to get used to them again. Like the Aerospray is a little different, the dualies are a little different. The Aerospray is no longer broken, which is nice. The Aerospray is now a fair weapon.
You love, doing those little bits and pieces of balancing as you go.
Yeah. All right, I'm going Splatana mode. We're gonna try my best.
Go for it. Yeah, the Splatana is one of those ones I'm like, it is, I agree with you, very, conceptually it's a really fun one, especially, compared to some of the other, because the Splatana is completely new to 3, right?
Yep, yeah. The Splatana is new and the bow and arrow are new.
Yeah, the stringers.
Yeah, I don't like the bow and arrow. I haven't tried them that much, but when I have had a pretty bad time, to be honest, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found it very fiddly when I was using it during the solo campaign, and I'm like, it's one of those ones I'm like, I feel I could get really good if I practiced over time, but it's definitely not, the one I would go to first choice.
Yeah. Alright. Now I gotta remind myself that I've just gotta get into enemy territory. Now I'm an extremely, cause really, Splatoon is just such a battle of damage weapon, inking weapons versus raw damage and killing and KD ratio weapons. And historically I have been better with, I don't know, I have just spent more time into the turf covering weapons. And so
yeah.
three was where I was like, nah, I'm gonna get good at a attacking centric weapons. Even the dualies, which seem more like attacking centric weapons, you can use kind of either way. Oh, and I have the big hammer. Ooh, we love the big hammer.
There you go.
I love the hammer so much. The ultimates in this are really good. Oh, one or more players disconnected shortly after the battle began.
Oh, boo.
Piss and shit.
Yeah, I've definitely run into a number of those connection errors, and I feel like I keep seeing people who are complaining about it, and it's like, yeah, I feel like it's getting better, but
it is. It was really bad during the test fire they did before the game came out. It was awful then. I think it's definitely gotten better.
Virlor in chat, they didn't want hammer time. Yes, absolutely.
No, yeah. Yeah, ironically, we were doing very well so far in that round.
Yeah, it's always like, oh, it's you're gonna shut down immediately after I get on a good streak.
Yep.
So.
I guess it's my fault. I guess I'm wrong for being good at the video game.
Have you tried simply being not good, Jay?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll stop it. Yeah.
I've done that many times. I've spent a lot of time doing that. No more, I said.
Yeah.
What are your go-to weapons so far in 3?
I tend to be a roller main. I'm still getting a feel for a number of them, but the Flingza roller is my roller of choice. For a while, I was using I think it's the carbon roller.
Carbon
which is
roller.
a little bit faster.
Yeah.
But doesn't do quite as much damage, and so I definitely was like, okay, if you want to go for turf coverage, that is, having that speed is a benefit, but I found, okay, something that lets you do a little bit more damage is useful. I tend to vacillate back and forth between, okay, am I going for turf coverage or am I going for damage?
Yeah.
Kind of like you're saying.
Yeah, because that is the balance, right? And some weapons can be even the Splatana. Part of why I like it is that there are a couple melee. Whoa, there we go. There are a couple
There you
weapons
go.
where it really is like just killing based, like the like sniper rifle stuff. You're not getting a lot of
Yeah.
coverage on that, but if you're good at them, which I don't know how anyone is, but if you are, then you're getting insane kills. You're getting awesome kills. But I like it's very straight line coverage, but the Splatana I'm using, I don't remember the name of it offhand, but the Splatana I'm using does do like very good like thick straight lines of coverage, which is good for just
Yeah.
navigation even. And that's another thing I love about 3 is 3 feels so much more like so many weapons and ultimates and alts have to do with movement more than 1 and
Right.
2. There were ones that did 1 and 2, but it feels like the maps are a little smaller and I'm moving around all of them way quicker. And I
Yeah.
really like that.
Mobility is such a, you know, a major component, and especially when you're trying to get around the map, to whether it's, you know, to get as much turf coverage, or if you're, you know, trying to be strategic about how you're attacking or defending. And,
Yeah.
and I think that, you know, is definitely something that you really get a sense of in the level design.
Definitely. Yeah, maps are a little smaller in this one, and yeah, it's like using movement as a tactical, like using being fast and mobile as a very tactical thing, is something that 3 gets extremely well. Like I love that Spider-Man one where you're able to like rappel off the walls. I think that's like one of the best ideas they've ever had.
I love, you know, getting to do that in the main campaign. It's like, oh, cool. This timing never runs out. You just get to keep
Yeah.
jumping around forever.
Did you do that one where you're crafting the whale out of a bunch of boxes while you're doing that?
Oh yeah, that one was really fun.
That was weird.
Yeah,
that was
that
interesting for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I like that one. Oh fuck. Oh my god, the bubbles. I don't know.
It's the bubbles again.
I don't know if we're gonna win this.
It looks pretty close. You got jumping in very last minute.
They just have one roller player who's really good at just like, oh yeah, I think we. That's a weird map. Yeah, no, we lost that. Not by a lot though.
That's pretty close.
By
neck
one,
and neck.
yeah, 1 solid percent.
I was playing a match earlier, and the difference, we lost by 0.1%. I was like, literally, you're not even a full. It was just like, it was like, I think 42.1 and 42.2% or something. It was just like, really, you're that neck and neck.
Yep, it does be like that.
Comes down to the wire sometimes.
Yeah, and they've done a good job over these games. Oh, we had 2 Splatanas on the team. That's probably part of why. Like, as much as I like this weapon, that's part of why I don't use it a lot, is I know that if I'm not the only person using it on the team, then we have a huge balance problem.
Right.
I kind of wish they had a, like, mode that was, like, role-filling in terms of, like, types of weapons. Like, yeah, each team gets one, like, sort
You
of...
get one roller, you get one shooter, yeah.
Yeah, like 1 roller, 2 shooters, and 1 something else, or something. Or
I
just,
mean, it doesn't... Yeah. Don't you get that a little bit with Salmon Run? Where it's like, okay, here's the designated weapons that are available during a particular shift?
I think so. I haven't really done Salmon Run in 3, but I think you're right.
I haven't either. I like looked at the tutorial and I was like, this feels a little bit above my pay grade for now, but I want to give it a try at some point. But it definitely feels like one of those things where it's like, okay, how are you reframing the design of that?
Okay, we got communication error. Let's hop back in. Oh, it's Sturgeon Shipyard. Yeah, maps have been updated. We got Sturgeon Shipyard on the docket now.
Sure.
One day I will learn to actually like remember what stage a stage is by name. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not mentally there yet.
I know a handful of them, and I'm like, okay, I can tell a couple of them apart by name, but it's definitely one of those things of like, okay, is this the one with the big rolling thing in the center? Or is this the
Uh-huh.
one with the big rolling things on the sides?
Yep.
Um,
I had that exact question when I was looking at the initial stuff for today. And my side is just a regular bomb. Okay, that's fine. Wait, no, what is that? Oh yeah, okay. Oh, I'm rooting for. It's the conversation of the century, but I'm rooting for Pokemon. I think Scarlet and Violet are gonna be cool. Maybe. I don't know.
mhm.
I've got hopes.
Yeah, I haven't been, paying a huge amount of attention to the conversation about it because video game journalism is always such a hot spot of
A
okay, here's the things that
yeah,
we're paying attention to,
it's a
but uh,
quagmire.
but I hope that it comes out well. I all of the previews that I've seen feel like okay, they're doing something that they're building off of what they did with Legends Arceus with the open world,
Yeah.
but they're offering it. It feels like a fresh twist. It feels like okay, there's some new fun stuff that's going on here as well.
I love that stuff in Legends Arceus too. Like
mhm.
Legends Arceus was really cool. Oh man, we have a bow and arrow guy on this team. I wonder if they're gonna be able to know what they're doing. But yeah, no, I'm pretty much with you. I think it has the chance to be like really good through like trying its best at some new ideas, which is what I think Sun and Moon did. And then
Yeah.
Sword and Shield tried but didn't make as far with. I am a like moderate Sword and Shield defender. I think those games get a worse rep than they deserve, even if I think they're like probably some of the weaker Pokemon games. I want to like them very much.
Yeah, I mean when you're riding on the momentum of or of Sun and Moon, I feel like that's a tough act to follow.
Yeah.
Definitely. Um,
Yeah, Sun and Moon were great. I think Sun and Moon like they're not like the revival of how Pokemon Gold and Silver felt to some people when they were 7, and that they're never going to be, and people need to get
Right.
over that. And, you're never gonna feel quite that way again, and that's okay. But they were really fresh.
that nostalgia is always going to be imperfect. But I think for what it was trying to be, which is something that feels a little bit new, but still has that connection to the original source material. It's like okay, sure, you're rolling with it. I dig it.
I have seen a couple leaks, and I just generally think they've got a really good, just like, everyone is freaks. There's just a lot of really good freaks, and I'm extremely about the freaks.
You've got to love a Pokemon who's a little fucked up man.
You've got to love a Pokemon. So true.
It is simply essential. I think if I mean it's right there, Game Freak. They tell you right out from the jump.
Yeah, no, I think absolutely that's correct. Like, we're pretty fucked here. I think. I think it's time to maybe switch away from the Splatoon after this, because I'm seeing a lot of like just raw coverage not happening on this map, and I'm like, I could do it better. I'm gonna be annoying and say that I could do it better.
See, that's why I always go for the roller. It's like, okay, you can do coverage, you can go melee if you want, but
Yeah. No, I hear you.
you know, pound for pound in terms of just covering the area.
Definitely hear you. Oh, there's a guy on that team named Moisture trademark.
That's I've definitely seen some pretty interesting display names. I think, you know, especially one of the things about Splatoon being, okay, this it is marketed as like being kid friendly, and so when you think about, okay, limiting the ways that people can risk harassment or communicate in ways that could be you know, could be abused or used for malicious intent. I don't know. I think it's interesting to see people who are like, okay, cool, we're recognizing that restriction, and we're playing with it in a way
Yeah.
that's not malicious, but
it's people figuring out,
creativity.
you know, it's the same way as like figuring out a way to type a swear on a website that bans swears. Like it's
Right.
kind of the same thing, I feel like.
And not even like, okay, ooh, we're gonna say a swear. Like, moisture isn't a swear, but it's just like, okay,
Yeah.
it breeds creativity. It lets people think, okay, cool. How can I think outside the box here
No, you're
in
right.
some way or another?
You're absolutely right. Oh, it's a tricolor. We've got Hot Femboy on one of the teams. Speaking of, and we got
Speaking
Crazy.
of,
My great teammate Crazy Goo is here.
Crazy UTM, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of TM going on here, and I do respect that very much.
Some real trademark hours out here.
Yeah, it's mine. What's up? The Ultra Signal mode is, boy, there's a lot going on here that I feel like I just don't have a great grasp on.
Yeah, it's like a King of the Hill style thing, right? Like you're all
Yeah.
kind of trying to compete for the same object in that way.
Which is really funny because Splatoon is always a King of the Hill. Like, that's always what this game is. But you're right that like it is just another way to have it be a King of the Hill game, which is very, very funny to me. Nope. How many kings?
It's very interesting. Like, it's very interesting watching this, you know, from Twitch with a couple second delay and being like, oh, something's about to happen on screen.
Yeah. We are not doing the best that we ever have here.
Woof. Yeah, that's rough. Yeah, I didn't get into. I really only got into Splatoon, you know, fairly recently, and so I wasn't around for any of the previous turf wars. So it's been interesting, like, or sorry, previous Splatfest. So it's been interesting looking at like, oh, this is how the tricolor wars go. Yeah, it's like, okay, how do these bits work? What's the game design here? It's fun.
Yeah, the tricolor thing has been a really neat new feature. Like, Jesus Christ. It's extremely pandemonious. It's very chaotic. We're getting our asses handed to us right now, but it's very fun. I like it a lot. I think. Yeah, I feel like those modes have definitely evolved a lot from one to now. Oof.
Absolutely, because there's a bunch of other modes as well, right? It's not just standard turf war. You've also got your, what is it? The tower control one and the
Yeah, the
like
tower
area
control.
one.
The tower control one's been there since the first one, I think. I like
Oh,
that
has
one a
it?
lot.
Okay.
I believe so.
Sure.
I liked it a good deal in one. I'm sure it's changed. I always just played regular mode for casuals a lot. Like I like the regular game when it's regular. I like vanilla is a flavor, Kara. Vanilla is a flavor.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. I don't think there's anything wrong with I tried out. I think it wasn't tower control. It was I think one of the other ones like the Rainmaker mode or something. And I was like, oh, this feels a little bit above my pay grade.
I don't like Rainmaker.
Maybe I'll try it again once I've got a little bit more experience. But for the time being, I think sticking with your standard turf war. Nothing wrong with vanilla, like you say.
Yeah, I don't like Rainmaker very much. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes you just gotta be really normal. That's all I can say.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing wrong with that. We love to be normal and regular.
What I say to myself every morning when I look in the mirror.
Normal and regular. Normal and regular. We all get through the day like that. Back in Dualies mode, I think I'm gonna try another weapon that I never use, but like the idea of in a minute. Which is the fucking the Luna.
Oh yeah.
I really like. I like the way that thing shoots. I like the way it feels. I have not played anywhere near enough of this video game with it to be any kind of good at it, but I like the idea of becoming good at it.
Yeah, I mean sometimes honestly that's enough of a reason to play it. Like you don't have to be good at something if you're like, okay, I like the conceit or I like the experience of trying this out, and if you stick with it long enough, there's the possibility that you will get good. Sucking at something is the first step to getting good at it. Is that the quote?
Yeah, be sort of good at it or whatever. Yeah, and that's something I've always liked about Splatoon is I think just how short the matches are and how quick everything moves really lends itself to that. Like that's just been true across all the games. Is like the fact that you can just like hop into a 3-minute match, like everything operates on the stakes of a 3-minute match. That is the amount of time it takes to microwave my lunch at work. Like that is such it's such a short period of time, and that really like is conducive to learning new things and being good at learning, even if not being good at the game. I just ran right into that bubble. Jesus Christ.
Oof, yeah. But yeah, no, I think again going back to Nintendo's design principles of like, hey, make space for play, make space for experimentation, and don't feel like you're beholden to fill all of this, master this, and you don't have to master it within the 3 minutes of a single match. You can always get better over time. Or don't, play around.
Yeah.
Play, so many different options. You can choose to do the jack of all trades as you do.
You can also just choose to be bad. You become ungovernable.
Right. Yeah. like we said, have you simply tried not being good?
Yeah. What if you sucked as a strategic move? What if you were impossible to work with strategically? Would that be good?
I think that's called being a wild card.
That's called being a CEO.
So true.
Okay, that was Ooh, that was rough. Oh.
Yeah. Not as bad as, the numbers tell a different story from the picture.
Sure.
I
Oh,
think.
for sure.
But
pretty much always, yeah.
There are definitely matches I've looked at where it's like, oh, this was absolutely a squash, and it's like, no, it's much closer than you think.
Yeah, it's not that bad. It's just sometimes looks can be deceiving. We're gonna hit stop for a minute, and I am going to go into my weapons and find the Luna. There it is. There's the Luna blaster. So
there you go.
So this thing, yeah, it's just kind of big bursts. It's like not a shotgun, but it's good for one-shotting enemies if you get close to them. And I find myself close to enemies often, I feel like. And then you got your regular grenades. And then you've got Spider-Man mode.
You gotta love Spider-Man mode.
You really do have to love Spider-Man mode. This thing is something else I really appreciate about this one. And you would have missed this discourse, but back when Splatoon 1 came out, there were a lot of people being like, why are the maps on rotation? What do you mean I can't get in a lobby and play whatever map I want with people all the time? What do you what do you mean loadouts aren't fully customizable? This sucks. Broken game, dead game. But like I feel like we're at a point now where everyone just accepts that's just part of the game. Like that's just part of how Splatoon works. I feel like people are a lot more chill about that stuff in 2022 than they were in, I don't know, 2015 or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, that's baked into the design of it. Like certain weapons are going to be better for certain maps when you think about, okay, what's the elevation? What kind of area coverage are you looking for? Do you need speed? Do you need distance? And so I think something really interesting about the strategic component of, okay, I know these are the maps that we're going into. I maybe know what my team comp is. How can we optimize in order to make sure that I'm doing something that I feel good about, or playing a weapon that I like, while also supporting whatever the end goal of marking down as much ink as possible.
Yeah, and also just like the idea that the sidearm and the ult are part of the gun basically, as opposed to like like I don't know, they don't need to be things that you can completely customize a loadout thing. If they're like, you're just learning how to use a tool set, and if that tool set is predetermined, that just means it's like a more specific tool set. And you can also, I've just gotten communication error twice in a row, and that makes me sad. You can also use that knowledge against your enemies, right? Like, because they're all predetermined tool sets, if you recognize, oh, someone else is using the same roller I use or whatever, like you know what comes with that. You kind of have an idea of how fast they'll move. There's a lot to
exactly. It's you can't necessarily build off. You can build off of the assumption of, okay, here's how they're going to move, here's likely what their strategy is going to be, and it adds that element. There is something that I think having the ability to customize fully 100% to your heart's desire wouldn't necessarily be a worse game, but it would be a different game. It would be a game that just explores the design conceit in a different way, and I think there's something really interesting about making the choice of, okay, here's we're deciding these are the things we're gonna do.
For sure, yeah. And it's also like, I don't know, I'm not smart enough to build a million custom loadouts, I don't think. Like, I would rather look at a series of loadouts and be like, all right, these are the ways to play the game. and I'm going to learn how to be good with the ways to play the game.
Yeah, and if you want to customize, you can always do that with gear. You know, you can say, okay, here's the shoes I'm gonna go with that let me, you know, jump more quickly or move around the map with, you know, move through enemy ink through.
Yeah. That's extremely
in
true.
that way. And I think, you know, I remember when I was starting out, I was like, okay, I'm there are so many different options here for hats. There's so many different options here for, you know, weapon types. Like I need something that's narrowed down that I can, you know, just commit to from the jump. And so there's something freeing about not having to worry about those restrictions in the same way, you know.
Absolutely. Wow, I just got deep in the enemy base with that Spider-Man shit. I hadn't used that much before, but it rules. That's so cool.
Offer, I've always found it doesn't offer like that much in terms of ink coverage, but you do love just jumping around a map.
Well, it's a good killer, but two, I have found. Hero, have you read or watched any of Haikyuu, the anime and manga?
I have not. Haikyuu is one of those manga and anime I've known about for quite some time. I know people who love the boys. I respect people who love the boys.
You're talking to one right now, yeah. I got you. Yeah, I know Ty is another huge Haikyuu fucker. There are dozens of us. But the reason I bring that up is, you know, it's about volleyball, the beautiful game. And part of what they go through, so the main character in Haikyuu is a very small kid with a really incredible jump. Hinata's really short, but he has like an incredible vertical leap. And so he eventually becomes like the great decoy of the team. That is like his purpose on the team, is to just be like the most incredible decoy he can possibly be. So that people are constantly like, people can't afford to keep their eyes off him. And like, at first he's like, oh, what do you mean decoy? That doesn't seem very cool. But people are so scared of him that they have to be thinking about him during a game. And that means like, one, he still is incredible and does get great serves in, because he like has a setter he works with who like they're specifically really good together. But he also creates incredible openings for other people. And that is an energy I have tried to bring to Splatoon 3. I have tried to bring a lot of greatest decoy energy to, wow, what the fuck just happened? Okay. I've tried to bring a lot of greatest decoy energy to my gameplay in Splatoon 3. I haven't done it a lot tonight, but I will do a lot of, like, just painting a path as far into enemy territory as possible for no reason more than just to annoy the shit out of them. Because I know when I'm in their shoes, that annoys the shit out of me. I also know it hits my undiagnosed ADHD, and I'm like, oh, I have to fix this. I can't go back into the middle of the fray. I have to fix these little bits of enemy color in my home turf. And I know that I'm not the only person who thinks that way. Yeah, exactly. And it's I feel dirty taking advantage of it, but I also win a lot by taking advantage of it. So, you know.
And while there, it you know, it really is about, okay, what's the strategy here? Even if you're you know you're gonna get splatted, you know, however many, you know, 30 seconds into building that line, you know, making that mess, that's 30 seconds that somebody else isn't focusing on, you know, getting actual proper ground coverage.
Yeah.
You know, that sets up opportunities for the rest of the team. So yeah.
Hell yeah.
I see the appeal there. I understand where you're coming from with that.
Hell yeah, it's a fun way to think about it. But yeah, that's my Haikyuu minute.
Thank you for the explanation. I need to actually sit down and read Haikyuu or watch it.
Either way is good. I've watched all the anime like a year and a half ago, and then early this year I got a Shonen Jump app subscription this year, and that was an incredible choice. I have had such a fucking good time having that. And that was the first thing I did on there, was I read all of Haikyuu.
Yeah, Shonen Jump is like I have a whole bunch of friends who are like, yeah, that's a great investment. You know,
It's like
for the
$2
amount
a
you're
month.
paying, the
It's
amount
awesome.
to read. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
You simply love to see it.
I very much like. I was a big manga kid as a teenager. I was a big library kid, and my library had a good teen center that was like a big like social hub for me. Of fucking course, I was that degree of library kid. But it had a big manga wall. It had the librarian literally got a Shonen Jump subscription for the library. So we would get the monthly Shonen Jump just as like a piece of library material. Oh fuck. I had not registered what was in front of me there, damn. But so you know, we would have that, and so in my head, I stopped reading manga once I got to college, and in my head, I like for a while, and this is dumb because I enjoyed anime and a million other things from Japan. How did that motherfucker get over me? I don't know what happened there. I want to know what they're using.
That was wild.
Did you see that the way I saw that? Where they like soared really high over me?
They just jumped over, yeah.
I guess they just jumped. It just felt like really like, well, they did a good job, and that was what surprised me. But I guess like even though I'm into all this other stuff from Japan, like manga I started to think of as like this kind of cringier thing I was into as a teenager. And that's dumb, and I'm glad I broke myself of that, because I've been having an awesome time getting into manga again.
Yeah, deny your feelings of cringe. Who needs them? That's
cringe,
sincere.
Cringe is fake. We are all gods of our own domain. But yeah, I really liked Haikyuu. I just read I am reading now. I think it's called Akane Banashi. It is a ongoing manga that started like it started like right when I got the app at like the start of the year. It is about fuck, it's not Kagura. It is about an art of what like one man show like comedy storytelling in Japan. It's like very traditional. It's like all the stories are very old stories about like villagers and monks and stuff. But you wear a kimono, you kneel in front of an audience, and you tell a story by yourself where you are like doing all the characters yourself. And there's like, ones with different styles of comedy to them and all this stuff. And it is very much like a Food Wars or a Hikaru no Go or anything like that, or a Yu-Gi-Oh for that matter, where it's like a shonen battle anime or manga, but for this really specific skill. And that is like Food Wars, the horny stuff of it aside, I love Food Wars just because it is a very intense show about like there's a really moving moment in that show where a lady just hacks apart a monkfish for use in a cooking competition. Like everything is, it's just like that kind of stuff cranked up to Dragon Ball Z levels of hype. I find very fun, and that is a little bit of what Akane Banashi. I hope I have the name of it right because I just read it and there's not a lot of it. That is what that has, where it's the main character is this girl who's like just leaving high school. Her father is one of these performers, or was like expelled from the school that he was in to become a professional one when she was little, and so she's like dedicated her life to gaining honor back to the family name, but also just wants to like show the school head that kicked him out that he's a dumbass for doing that. And she's like, it's got that really good mix of like she's got incredible natural talent, but she's got like very realistic weaknesses as well, and they do a good job of fleshing those out. And you're just like learning a lot about this really specific art form while reading a really good manga about it. I read all that has been released so far in 24 hours.
I love a piece of art that dials into the hyper specificity of craft in that way.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a particular hobby or job or industry or field, and we're just going to go into okay, what makes this tick?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love that, and I think that yeah, I'll have to check this one out.
It's awesome. I hope they do an anime one day. I don't. That's one where it's like I want them to do an anime. I don't want them to try and localize it just because of some of the ways, some of the story. Like, there's like stories where like the humor in them, part of it is like based in like Japanese dialect stuff that I don't know how the fuck you translate in a way that like makes sense in context. But I would like to see them try maybe. But yeah, it's really good. They get really like there's one story that she has to tell. She joins a competition. This is a thing that happens in it. She joins a competition where her master, the person teaching her, is like, yeah, you can enter this competition, but you have to do it with this one specific story. And the story that he tells her she has to do it with is a story that is about a kid with the longest name on Earth. Like, the whole idea is that these parents have a kid, and the guy goes to like a monk to be like, hey, like I guess like something you could do if you didn't know what to name your kid is like go to a monk and be like, hey, what is a good meaningful name for like prosperity and long life or whatever for my kid, especially back when like death rates were like a lot more kids died, back
Absolutely.
in, so he goes to this monk and the monk keeps giving him like good name suggestions, but the guy keeps just being like, all right, what else you got though? And the monk gives him like 20 names, and
he just uses all of them.
He uses all of them. So the person's name, I'll find it after this round is over and just to read it off because it's incredible. And so it's just a story about like this kid getting into trouble and his parents just like, looking after him, whatever. But whenever he does anything, it's like, yeah, your son pushed my son into the dirt. Oh my gosh, are you saying that my son, like going through the name, did that? And it's just about like figuring out how to like make the delivery of that one really long name work the right way a million different times in a million different contexts. And you like see her, like she's like, oh yeah, I've seen my dad do this once since I was a kid. But then you see her realize, oh, that's not quite enough, and like kind of figure out how to make it her own and how to make the delivery of it a little differently. It's just really cool in how, like, I feel like I know about this like extremely specific world now that boy, we're getting destroyed this round. It's just a neat thing to learn about. It's a neat way to learn about something, I guess, is all I'm saying.
Yeah. And I mean, you get that through the character. You get that commitment through.
Sure.
Okay, here's the craft, but also here's the story of the people who are invested in it and their emotional arc.
Definitely.
And that's what makes it. Yeah, I love that.
Got our third power on the Splatfest tee.
There you go.
Yay. We are nearing the next clout rank. I'm gonna stop for a second. I have found so it's what are you saying that our boy Jugamu Goku no Surikuretsu Kajiri Sugio no Sugiyomatsu Ungiomatsu Furiomatsu Kuneru Tokuro ni Sumo Tokuro Yabajiraku no Burakoji Paipo no Shuringan no Gurindai no Ponpoko P no Ponpoko na no Chokyumi no Chosuke. That is the guy's whole name. And so it's just fitting all of that into regular sentences about like, what, you're saying he jumped over the river? Oh my god, I hope he's not drowned. Like, and that's the whole like comedy of it, but it's also like what's kind of endearing about it. And so it's just about like selling this very bizarre premise, and I fucking love it.
It's you've got to love a joke that it's straightforward, but it's one of those jokes where the longer you go, the funnier it becomes.
Yeah, and that's very much what they hone in on in there too.
Yeah.
And they talk about like, oh, here's one guy who like modernizes his stories, which is like fine to do, but some people frown upon it, and you have to like really. There's a lot about like reading a room, just like reading an audience, which is like I have never done improv. Well, no, I've done improv games. I don't really like being on a stage, like which it's very like we're all entertainers here. I don't like I was in like children's theater as like a teenager, and I don't love being on a stage. I don't love like having to read a physical audience. That's something I've just never been good at. I did stand-up comedy briefly in college. It was bad. No, actually, one show was good. I will give myself that credit. I did one good 10-minute segment one time. But like, it really gets into like, what does it mean to interpret how one kind of audience is gonna like take a joke versus how another one will.
Absolutely.
Okay.
No, I feel that.
We've got a Luna and an Umbrella now, and we're gonna have to see how that works.
Oof, yeah.
I'm just not good at this mode. I'm dumb and I'm proud.
I think there's nothing wrong with, recognizing and saying, okay, cool, what are the various game modes, and what's the way to make this work for you?
Yeah, well, it's also like, this is a very, like, it is a very shotgun-y weapon. And with, are you a pro gyroscope controls person in this game?
I use it a little bit. I also use the joystick. I know it's very much like, oh, you should do one or you should do the other.
No, I do a little of both. I think you're fine to do that.
Yeah, that is what tends to work for me. I know there are some people who are like, okay, it is more consistent if you use one or the other, but I'm not choosy. And yeah, I do find that, I find using a little bit of gyro as well it makes it a little smoother.
Man, I feel like this is a weird mode. Like, I get why they did it this way, but I feel like the team that has 4 goddamn people on it is always gonna have the advantage.
I mean, you've gotta, that's the balance. You've gotta decide, okay, well, at what point can you rely on the opposing team, Team Grass?
Sure.
And at what point do you work alongside them, and at what point do you turn against them and kind of go for your own agenda?
That's a very good way of putting it. Oh, we got it, nice, okay,
there you go.
Beautiful, we got it. Oh, fuck, that goddamn roller. I am bad at dodging out of the way of rollers. Okay, we're in a tenuous lead. We just have to keep it and do perfectly. I think if we just do perfectly, it'll all be fine. That's what what I find is that, yeah.
Have you tried being good?
Yes, and I'm doing it right now. I'm actually doing perfectly at it right now as we speak. Whew! I think we might have won that actually. I think that we came in clutch at the end there. Yeah! That's my first time ever winning that mode. Good job, Cheerin, my teammate. That was a shotgun and an umbrella. That's a weird pair of weapons to go into that with, I feel like. But the umbrella's really good for that, I feel like. That, like, just, if you know how to use the moving shield of that can really, like, make or break.
Absolutely.
Just everything about what you have going on. I think my goal here tonight is to get to the next level of clout at the least.
I think that seems like a reasonable. You're already pretty close to it, right? So
yeah.
You probably get there, and then.
That'll probably be it at that point. I think we started later than expected, but it's been a good long run. Thank you for joining me in the call here and hanging out. It's been fun to.
Yeah. Thank you for extending the invite.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I always find it interesting to yeah, like I said, I spent so much time on like the solo campaign. I'm like, okay, maybe I would love to get a feel for more of what the social scene around this game is like.
Sure, yeah, and I know Jory plays too. I think we have a couple people who do at Moonshot, so maybe this won't be the last time. I would love to do like my goal here is to have Splatfest Saturday be a thing that we stream every time there is a Splatfest, unless I am like unable to do it. I'm having
We
a good
should
time doing it.
we should go for it. I mean, we'll have to coordinate and make sure we're on the same team.
Yes, yeah,
with-
we have to have the same opinions, which should be fine and easy.
Yeah, I've listened to Chance of the Making. That's not a problem at all.
I'm glad you feel that way. Well, if you're on the movie podcast sometime soon, we'll see if that happens there too.
That is true. We'll have to see how that all goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I would love to do some social splatooning as a Moonshot crew. We get a little bring the Squid Games to the moon.
Bring the Squid Games to the moon. Yeah, I kind of wanted to do it in Extra Life. I want to like maybe we'll do that at the next stream, at the May stream or whatever next big stream we do. Or maybe it's just a regular thing we do whenever there's a Splatfest. That's also fine.
Yeah, or even just whenever. It doesn't necessarily even have to be tied to a particular
Absolutely.
event. But...
You are absolutely right to say that. God, I love being Spider-Man.
You've simply got to love being a squid who is also a spider.
It's awesome. Fuck, I love it very much. We are doing okay. Oh, that person's over there. Okay. Ugh. And hey, you know what? I'm gonna say it publicly on stream while we're on stream. Caro, your fucking graphics and everything you've done for Moonshot has been so goddamn cool. Like, if anyone's watching and doesn't know, God! Oh, sorry, there we go. I killed that guy. Sorry, I screamed in the middle of praising you, but it had to be done.
Oh, shucks, thank you.
But
you're in the middle of, you're doing important work here with the squid.
You're doing important work. No, it's been, we don't need to say it every single fucking day, but I want to. It's just like, Moonshot came together so goddamn nicely over the course of this entire year, and it's like, it's easy to forget that all happened earlier this year, and
the turnaround is wild.
It's been like 7 months soaking wet. It's been like barely 7 months or something like that, half a year-ish. God, fuck. Yeah, it has not been that long.
Not at all, but it has been a pleasure to do graphic design work for this crew. I think we have such a clear image and goal of what we're going for, and that has always been so valuable. And I think that clarity is always lovely as a designer, as a producer, as somebody who is telling stories myself and with the network. It's like it's always good. And I'll say this on chat for the 4 people in the audience. We are thinking a little bit, very very loosely about some potential graphic design stuff in the future with like what might some merch look like or some thoughts around that. So
you we've had that conversation. We've been thinking about it.
Nothing set in stone yet.
Yeah, this is not a teaser of anything about to happen or anything. It sincerely is not. But
the conversations have been happening, and we are excited to make that happen at some point in the future.
Absolutely. Oh. I think one more round will get us there.
I think so as well. Yeah, you're very close to ranking up to which rank are you at right now? Fire Defender?
Yeah, I'm currently a Fire Defender. I would love to be a Fire Lord, Master. I don't know what's next. Knight? perhaps.
Fire, I think, is it Fire Champion?
Could be. It's like Digimon levels. It's just like that.
Who could say?
Nobody. Impossible.
There's no way of determining it.
Ooh, it's a 100 times battle. Well,
High stakes.
We have to win now. Oh my god. Oh! I tried to fucking Spider-Man out of the way of the Reef Slider, and it didn't really work out. It can be the downside of I don't know what the actual name of that all is. It's just the Spider-Man to me. The downside of it, I feel like, is that it can be like. Normally in Splatoon, I'm not thinking about walls all that much, and suddenly I have to be more. Right? Like, suddenly the space around you is like means something different than it just did, and that can trip the motherfucker up.
It goes from 2D to 3D in, you know, there 3D is all, you know, there's you're thinking about elevation, you're thinking about distances in a very similar way, but this, you know, it really automatically adds a layer of, oh no, you have to think about not just elevation, but verticality and, you know, height in a completely different in a completely different way. Yeah,
yeah, for sure. Which is hard. It can be hard to do that. And again, that is something I think these games have only gotten better with. Is like that kind of goes into like the mobility conversation, and the whole thing where it's just like the way that you are utilizing your space. Can be a very flexible creature on the fly.
Absolutely.
Motherfucker. I think we're gonna lose. I don't want to lose. I want to win.
No,
I want those times 100 points so bad.
Gotta get those times 100 points. This, you know, you're in the last minute. That last minute rush is always where it goes big.
I'm gonna do my old. That bubbler chased me. They're ready for someone to do the like charge through the enemy base thing. Oh my god, we're just getting fucked now. I guess we've given up. Okay, cool, really good. Oh no, okay, we've wiped them out now though.
Yeah, I mean the Luna Blaster is also again
not a spread weapon, it's a kill weapon.
Yeah.
But it's only as much of a kill weapon as my aim is, and I could have just killed both those bucket heads, and I completely beefed the ability to do that.
It's close.
Oh, I don't know if it's close enough.
It was close 2 seconds ago when.
I don't.
When you opened up the map, but
no, by a wide margin, that's a no. Yeah. Well played, Grass Team. I respect your weed, cat. I respect your weed, cat, and his weed. Her weed, their weed.
All right. Well, lovely getting the chance to watch your Splatoon strategy and just to chat, you know, to follow a little bit.
Fire champion reached. Yeah, thank you for joining me. I'm gonna dip back out to the city for a minute, only to take one last look at the Splatfest as we sign off, and to get one last look at the beautiful music and the beautiful messages left by fellow Splatoon 3 players.
You've gotta love people who I don't know how some of these folks just how do you spend so much time like building out these, you know, drawing these incredible images.
Yeah.
It's really something.
Like
Like Arson. Yeah,
Like
no,
go-
I'm looking at this on stream, and it's just there he is.
There
That's
he
Arson.
is. Let's go water. That's a nice one. That's a good one. Let's go water. What else do we got? I saw that one earlier. Some of these are repeats from before. Oh, there's a Greninja. That's pretty good. Yeah,
there
people,
you go.
People really go ham. There's a Meryl and a Poplio. Baby is asleep. Splatfest quietly, please.
Go ham. Yeah. I saw a message earlier that was like, I'm in the hospital. Hope that Team Fire goes well. Sorry, I can't be involved.
Yeah, I love that as soon as this game came out, someone did the "my mom left me here at Target," which has been like a thing people have done since the first one, and it's so fucking good.
Yeah.
There's the grass. There's a exploding Cyndaquil. Let's go grass. Let's use our status effects to our advantage. Also, I love money and Irish Spring deodorant. Dollar sign, dollar sign, dollar sign, dollar sign.
Dollar sign.
Wow.
Okay, dollar sign, Johnny dollar sign. That feels on brand.
Hey, they know what
Good
they're
for
all
you.
about. Yeah, they know what they're all about. Can I like stand on something up here for a better view? Or no, I get this. Okay, that's kind of actually, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, you can zoom in a little. You can see.
Yeah, there's our guys. They're doing great. Wow, Fry has just a blue mouth. Fry drank like. You ever seen the movie Attack the Block?
I have. I'm familiar.
Yeah. She's got Attack the Block monster mouth going on a little bit.
We know who stuck their fingers in the fun dip.
Yeah, I do like the like colorful fingers, but that is extremely the vibe. It's also a little unsettling. They just have like these motherfuckers never wash their hands. Is the vibe I get from Shiver and Fry. Shiver and Fry seem like they don't know what a shower is. The most of any Splatoon characters to date.
I mean, yeah, they have an image, but also you go one layer lower beneath the veneer of the image that they're presenting. It's like, oh, y'all are little gremlins. Y'all are little goblins.
Yeah, they're two little gremlins and then one big gremlin. Just one big like dopey chill guy who'll give you free
no
weed.
Big Man slander. Big Man is just happy to be here.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Big Man rules.
This is a stable paying job. I'm excited for Big Man to just, hang out, do his thing, and then go home to his husband, Bigger Man, and the two of them will just hang out and chill and have weed. Who could possibly begrudge this guy?
Bigger Man theory is real. On that note, Kara, thank you for joining me for this lovely Pokemon Splatfest, for Splatfest Saturday. Thank you, chat, for joining us for this lovely Splatoonery and buffoonery. And until next Splatfest, farewell!
Yeah.